Akira.
The Dawn.
He's got clout.
The title of these talks that I'm giving here is Mind Over Mind. And I'm going into all the various problems which have to do with the control of the mind. And so I might introduce what I'm going to say by saying it from different points of view. For example, if you're interested in communications, it will be the problem of feedback. Or if I may put it in theological terms, how does man follow the will of God if the will of man is perverse? The theologians say, you cannot do this without having divine grace, or the power to follow the will of God. How then do you get grace? Why is grace given to some and not to others? If I cannot follow the will of God by my own effort because my will is selfish, how will my will, which is selfish, be transformed into an unselfish will? If I cannot do it because I am already the selfish will, then grace must do it. Then grace must do it. If grace has not already done it, why not? Because I didn't accept it. But by definition, I had no power to accept it because my will was selfish. Must I then become a Calvinist and say that only those people who are predestined?
My name is Just, representing. Yeah. Good. Keep talking? Today's class, we're going to be going over. What are we going to be going over today? Actually, I'm going to be going over some light feet today and showing you the correlations between old school hip hop moves and the new school. Kind of a little bit of the evolution, to what we do today.
Okay, turn up your music.
Alright, so we're going to get in, we're going to do this side to side toe walk like this. Bop, what, hey, you. Stop talking? Keep talking.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I can hear you.
Okay. So we're going to be placing our right foot in front. When I go for my tone walk, the light feet's a full body dance. So when my heels go to my right side, my hands are going out. No matter what direction you want to go in, as long as they're going out, you show emphasis, and then you're bringing it back to the center.
Okay, go ahead, turn your music down. And then just go back to normal talking.
And then with that, you put all that together. Now you are a cosmic wizard. You know how to levitate. You know how to pass through solid objects. Welcome to the new density. Yeah, let's go through the floors. Yes. This is not an Ill Till Infinity shirt. This is my Dukes. Shout out to JD, J Dilla.
Okay.
You.
Akira.
The Dawn.
He's got clout.
The title of these talks that I'm giving here is Mind Over Mind. And I'm going into all the various problems which have to do with the control of the mind. And so I might introduce what I'm going to say by saying it from different points of view. For example, if you're interested in communications, it will be the problem of feedback. Or if I may put it in theological terms, how does man follow the will of God if the will of man is perverse? The theologians say, you cannot do this without having divine grace, or the power to follow the will of God. How then do you get grace? Why is grace given to some and not to others? If I cannot follow the will of God by my own effort because my will is selfish, how will my will, which is selfish, be transformed into an unselfish will? If I cannot do it because I am already the selfish will, then grace must do it. Then grace must do it. If grace has not already done it, why not? Because I didn't accept it. But by definition, I had no power to accept it because my will was selfish. Must I then become a Calvinist and say that only those people who are predestined to receive grace will be able to live the good life? The good life. Then we come back to the inadmissible position that people who live evil lives and do not get grace because they are not predestined to it out of the infinite wisdom of the Godhead, then God himself must be held responsible for their evil deeds. And so that is a nice little tangle. If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. One who abandons that desire attains nirvana, which is supreme peace, liberation, supreme peace, liberation, supreme peace, liberation. Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. That is, exhale the breath. The opposite, desire, is to breathe in. Now, if you breathe in and hold it, you lose your breath. But if you breathe out, it comes back to you. It comes back to you. So the principle here is, if you want life, don't cling to it. Let go. Let go. But the problem is, if I desire not to desire, is that not already desire? How can I desire not to desire? How can I surrender myself when myself is precisely an urge to hold on, to cling to life, to continue, to survive. To survive. To survive. I can see rationally that by clinging to myself I may strangle myself. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. And he knows that, but can't give it up, because the means of death are so sweet. So, it all comes down to this basic question, that human beings have for a long, long time been concerned about transforming their minds. Is there any way in which one's mind can be transformed? Or is it simply a process which is nothing more than a vicious circle? I could ask, why have you come here this afternoon? What were you looking for? Would it be too presumptuous of me to say that you were looking for help? Looking for help. That you hoped you would hear somebody who had something to say that would be of help and relevance to you as members of a world which is running into the most intense difficulty. A world beset by a complex of problems, any one of which would be bad enough. But when you add together all the great political, social, and ecological problems with which we are faced, they are appalling. And one naturally says, the reason why we are in such a mess is not simply that we have wrong systems for doing things, whether they be technological, political, or religious, but we have the wrong people. The systems may be all right, but they are in the wrong hands because we are all, in various ways, self-seeking, lacking in wisdom, lacking in courage, afraid of death, afraid of pain, unwilling really to cooperate with others, unwilling to be open to others. And we all think that's too bad. It's me that's wrong. It's me that's wrong. And if only I could be the right person. Is this man going to tell me something that will help me to change myself so that I will be a more creative and cooperative member of the human race? I would like to improve. So in so many people's minds and from so many different angles, there is this urgent feeling that I must improve me. And this is critically important. Because it's obvious, at least it's superficially obvious, that the way things are, we are going to hell fast. Now in this question, can I improve me? There is the obvious difficulty that if I am in need of improvement, the person who's going to do the improving is the one who needs to be improved. And there immediately we have a vicious circle. You want grace. Well, ask God, maybe he'll give it to you. And the theologian will tell you, yes, God gives his grace freely. He gives it to all because he loves all. It's here like the air. All you have to do is receive it. Or a more orthodox, a Catholic Christian would say, all you have to do is to be baptized, to take the holy sacrament of the altar, the bread and wine, the body and blood of Christ, and there is the grace right there. And it's given by these simple physical means so that it's very easily and readily available. Well, a lot of people got baptized, and it doesn't always take. People fall from grace. Why do they? You see, we're just talking about the same old problem, but we put it a step up. But it's the same problem. How can I improve myself? Was the first problem. The second problem is, how can I accept grace? They're both the same problem. Because you've got to make a move, which will put yourself out of your own control into the control of a better. If you don't believe in the Christian kind of a God, you can believe in the Hindu kind of a God, who is your inner self. You see, you've got a lower self, which you can call your ego. That's that little scoundrelous fellow that's always...
One.
Yo, what up, though? Welcome back. My name is Dantes Just Jones. You're tuned in to Motor City Street Dance Academy. It's Monday. Today is hip hop. It's a beautiful day outside. I hope you got time outside to get that good energy. And thank you for being here. You didn't have to be here, but you tuned in for me and for yourself. Thank you so much. So today's class, I've been doing a lot of research for the past year on this dance style called Light Feet. And this is something I've been starting to implement into my hip hop classes, because I believe Light Feet is just the evolution of hip hop freestyle. And I've seen the correlations and the evolution of the moves that we did back in the day versus how they're doing them now, you know. So I just want to make a connection between those for y'all today. On top of us just learning how to groove, we're gonna go over some more groove, and I'm gonna toss in a little bit of light feet moves your way and show you how they're connected. All right. So make sure before we start, make sure you got plenty of space. Make sure you got your water. Make sure you got a sound mind. And with our sound mind, we're just gonna take 3 deep breaths for me before we start warming up. And you know what I'm saying? So breath 1. Breath 2 to the core. And 3. All right. Now we're gonna loosen up. So swing your arms, loosen up your shoulders. Feel like this. Make sure you're breathing to your core when you're doing this. You should feel your spine loosen up. I'm feeling it. All right. Now, a little bit more aggressive with the looseness. Get your spaghetti arms on, how I tell some of my students. You know, my students that I watch, spaghetti arms. Almost like you're about to Harlem Shake. It's like get the shake now. Y'all definitely gonna be getting that. All right. So now we're gonna try to do bounce. Loosen up in the shoulders. Shorten your arms still loose. my bad. Loosen up our neck because I want majority of our chakras to be flowing, so especially right here. So we're gonna go counterclockwise, so down first, go this way. Might be clockwise for you. Take your time, try and get those ears to the shoulders. And all in time, make sure you're breathing. Stop. Other way. Alright, we'll take it to the arms. Right arm across the body, left arm pulling like you're hugging. Because you love yourself, you should. Pull it tight. Breathing, you should feel that stretch all right here as you're pulling. You're pulling and loving yourself. Alright, now we're gonna switch. Open up that heart chakra. Other side. Wow. Feeling it right here. Pulling to the body. Pulling that way. Alright, another one. Right arm behind the back. Left arm pulling the elbow down. Ooh, got all this hair. This is good. Then switch. Alright, that's the arms. Now we're gonna open up our legs a little bit. Ooh. Get some grips on my shoes before I end up doing splits. Yeah, right? Alright, we're gonna go straight down center. You can touch the ground, that's fine. If you can't, that's still fine. Just make sure you're feeling those stretches right here. Trying to get to loosen up that root. Sacral chakras. Alright, up. Now we're gonna go to the left. Get your little hip turn. Left side. You can get down there. Get down there. You can't. Again, that's totally fine. Up. That side.
Point Dantes. Any questions or ways you want to steer the class, please make a comment and let us know. Our space is all about you, boys. So
Yes, very important.
Elaborate about some ways they can contribute to their voice being heard in this space.
So my objective as a teacher is to make sure you are getting the knowledge that you want and the knowledge that you need. So if there is a better way that you believe that I can express this knowledge to you, please type it in. Because in order for hip hop to continue to move and grow, it's on your back. To my youth. My youth that are watching, it's all on y'all. I'm here to help. Okay? This is your dance, this is your art. I'm just showing you how I did mine. Okay?
Ashley said what up.
What up though, Ashley? How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. So with that being said, we're going to go over our rhythm and musicality exercises, starting with our simple two-step, and then we'll build up from there. My students previous already know how this works. So always, and before we start, make sure you take your time If you feel that you're not getting these moves, it is totally fine. Hip hop is about peace, love, unity, and having fun. I want you to have fun here, okay? I want you to be at peace. I'm showing my love, and we're coming together with this unity right here, all right? So, right now we're working on rhythm and musicality. We're going off of our two-step. And like again, if you don't get the move, that's fine. If you have any questions about the moves, always feel free to type them in. I'm here for you. I want you to get this knowledge, okay? So starting with our two-step, right leg, bop, 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 bop. Where you going? 2, 1, 1, 2. See, simple. Just meeting the feet. You meet your foot. Bow. You step out, step to it. Step out, to it. Out, to it. Right? Hey. Most people in the world could do this. If you can't, that's fine. It means you're unique. But I'm here to help you learn it. Alright? So this is basically how we walk, right? Side to side. Oh, excuse me. Oh, my bad. Okay. So now, when we're bringing a little bit more hip-hop movement and groove into it, you know, there's this looseness. So you don't have to always be, for those of you who are kind of, especially for my students that come from the ballet background, loosen up. You don't have to be here trying to do a two-step. You can loosen up. This is your flavor that I'm talking about, right? You just chill. Ooh, 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 right? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower our level at the hips. So when our feet open up, lean forward. Boom, bop, boom. Make sure you pay attention to the beats that you're hitting. Ooh. Ooh, my music. Ooh, so good. Oh, let me get that turned up for y'all. My bad. Two-step, hey, back to the two-step. So if you notice, oh, we had going forward. That's right, my bad. So we're going forward. Move. Right? So when I go back to my normal two-step, if you notice, pay attention to the beats that you're hitting. Because right now, the beats that we're hitting are a bass and our snare. And we do this bass, snare, bass, snare, boom. Well, there's a dropout right there, but it's still underneath that. Boom. Right? So when you add another dimension to it by bending forward, you're also hitting the beats. You're hitting the beats on the ground, but you're also hitting them here. Boom, tap, boom, tap. So look what I do without the beat. Boom, tap, boom, tap, right? Boom, 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 boom. Hey. Ooh, ooh, hey. And if you notice, once you practice this a lot, you're gonna start to get like a bounce. Hey, hey. Right? Go back to normal two-step. Now, when our feet come together again, this time we're going to drop our level. So when they come together, we're gonna drop, right? This, I was actually doing this before I learned light feet, but this is gonna help with catching your lock-ins. So you step. So we step, drop, step, drop, step. All right, now we'll step. So once again, remember, when we're doing hip hop, it's a full body dance. It's not just lower body or upper body. It's whole body. So when you're dropping or changing levels, make sure you're incorporating, you know, your whole body. So when you step, right? Boop. All right, so that's our two-step. Oh yeah, so now we're gonna take from our two-step up to the upper body, focus on from hips and up. Yes,
The little thing.
I see. All right. It's over right here. I see rhythm musicality right there. That's what I'm talking
By your
about.
foot. Yeah, once you step on it. Yeah, there you go.
Boom. So rhythm musicality. Rhythm musicality focused on the upper body. I notice a lot of people, or a lot of younger dancers, don't know how to maintain a groove. They're always pushing it towards their feet, which is nothing wrong with that. But make sure it translates throughout the whole body. And that's not just for preference, because this dance is actually healing. And if you're not using a part of your body, you're not releasing all the energy that you need to. So when we focus up here, it's intent that is going to be in combination with the rest of your body, okay? So right now we're just going to rock from side to side, just at the hips, right? So, boom, easy, right? Bass, snare, bass, snare. Whenever you do a movement in hip hop or just a movement in general when you're just dancing to music, always pay attention to how your body works in line with the music. For example, you know, always adapt to the music, even though all of them have some of the same instruments, same beats. Take your time. That's why I'm working on boom bap. And I'm gonna be showing you a lot of these light feet moves to boom bap because it's a perfect learning tempo. And then eventually we're gonna get up to the actual light feet tempo. When my music comes in, this always happens. Make sure you got your water. Make sure your water's in close proximity, but not close enough to where you're gonna knock it over. Ooh, real smooth, all right? So, from the waist up, rock, side to side. You know, this is you on a nice summer day. You get that beat you want. Sun is glistening. You know, you're probably at a pool party just chilling, right? Back, boom, back. Or for my people who drive, you know, you cruising on the Lodgeway, you know what I mean? Yeah. All in the hips, right? Now that's in the hips. Well, if we transfer it up to just our head. Boom. Boom. And now, side to side isn't the only direction that you can move in. Boom, right? Same thing with your hips. If I want to rock forward and back. Same thing. So knowing you can break up your joints to actual show emphasis on the music. So that was hips, or the upper body. Now that forward rock that we talked about last week, or the forward bounce, comes from that little isolation in our chest, where you do this. It's almost like you want to breathe in your chest. I usually do my best to breathe in my core, but when you breathe in your chest, it lifts up a little bit and then drops, right? That's kind of like what this little, what I call a micro rock or a micro bounce does. It's almost like a little isolation too for my people who tune into my Wednesday class for popping. This little isolation right here, we talked about it when we were talking about these ones, but it also helps with the groove or the rock and the bounce and this one. So we talked about dynamics, and we're talking about dynamics even in our basic rhythm musicality. when we're doing this forward rock right here, we're using the whole core when we really get it in. Boom, bop, boom, bop. Like when I hear a light beat tempo, you know, you got me, boom, right? And that's the whole core. But what if I wanted to change my dynamics on it, like the exaggerated movements versus subtle movements? So I would take that bounce from my core and I will bring it up to my more mid right here, where I have this isolation point, to where I can bop, 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 right? Boom. Man, it's too much. Boom, not enough of that. Bing. So, bop. So this is me gonna use my whole core. Boom. Real simple, right? Now make it subtle, bring it up here. You know, for this one, how I explain this is like, you know, I'm kind of feeling it, but not all the way. It's kind of seeping in a little bit, you know? It's like, I kind of want to rock to it, but I'm just going to let it sit. Imagination plays a big part in this dance, right? Boom, boom, bop, bop, bop. All right. Now, going over to our shoulders. Shoulders is very important too. Shoulders is something that I even need to use a little bit more of, in my opinion. But we talked about a move last week called the bankhead bounce. For those of you who tuned in, it went something like this. It went boop, bop, boop, boop, bop, right? Boop, bop. One, two, three, right? Are you straight? Two, bop, 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 boop, bop, 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 bankhead, bop, hey, bop, 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 right? And this is the flavor, that side to side bounce. If you can't get the side to side, again, it's fine. I want you to put your own flavor, your groove on it, because this is how new things are created. But always respect the foundation, okay? Oh yeah, this one. I like this one. Alright. So, we're going to go back to a basic two-step, but we're going to add our bounce to it. This is kind of like a variation of the patty duke, but you know, it's just a nice foundational movement, especially in hip-hop, because it helps you incorporate the bounce through your movement around the room. So if you could bounce and walk at the same time, in my opinion, if you ask me, this is dancing. If you're just doing this, boom, bop, boom, bop, boom, or with each step, boom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna step side to side like our number two step, or we're gonna drop our level each time, right? So our two step is step out, drop level, step in, drop your level. Out, in, out, in, out, in. I'm not doing it on the beat, I'm just showing you for the basic purposes of the movement, then we'll do it on beat. Boom, 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 boom. Right? From the side. Alright? I guess I could do it from the side. Same thing. Ba, ba, me, ba, boop, 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 boop. Alright? Now we're gonna do that on beat. On the quarter notes. So starting on this, going this way. If y'all ever watch Fresh Prince, Will did this all the time. I know I'm putting a lot of arms to it, but if you just need, focus on the legs. Ba, 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 ba. And And if you can't incorporate your arms, you can do whatever you want. Hey, as long as you're staying on feet, right? Go on the side. Keep going. Keep going. That's it. What's this one? We're still going over
Bacon.
patty do. Patty do. Oh, variation.
Patty do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it one word or two?
Two. Boom. Okay. So that was movement going just from side to side, right? This movement is this bounce is very versatile. You can put it into anything, in my opinion. Now we're gonna go over kind of what we did, but we're gonna go over more of forward and back movement, which is look like this. So notice how I come up with my right leg and I drop my level. Boom. Here, step back with the left leg. Wow, level drop, right? Because if you notice, I'm hitting my base in my home position. I call this my home position because when I'm being a normal human, I'm home right here. Okay? So when I step out, home, down, boom, down, right? Boom, boom, back. Right? But that's putting more emphasis on my right leg in front, left leg in back. So always be versatile enough to switch it up, putting your left leg in front, right leg in back. Ooh, y'all know this one? I know y'all know this one. Today, I'm wearing my Nikes, baby. Alright, so back to the that forward and back movement. Drop. Every time though. So every in front, drop, center drop, back drop. And if you want it, you can focus just on one leg. Boom. Boom. Right? So this is me just focusing on my right leg, going from the front to the center to the back. Front to the center to the back. 8, front, back. What? 8. Ooh. 8. Ooh. My bad. That's my light feeling lingo coming out. Hey. Right? That's right leg. Switch up left leg. Alright, so that was forward and back movement. Okay. So, whew. If you notice with some of those foundational movements, no, actually that's not what I'm talking about. I wanted to, with those foundational movements set, there we go. I want to start going over into some light feet moves. 2 moves I'm going to show you is a tongue walk. I kind of went over a little bit into my prior classes, but I'm going to go over tongue walk and a foundational old school rev up that we're going to show. I'm sure there's a correlation between old school movement and how it is kind of today. So actually, I'll start off with that rev up. So there are many kinds of rev ups in light feet that I come to my discovery after researching and talking with the pioneers over the past year and some change. How they used to do it is how I kind of want to start everybody off with. So wait for my beat to come back. I'm gonna show you like 3 different rev ups, but I'm only gonna teach you one. Just enough to get you excited. So first one I'm gonna show you is how they used to do it. I mean, people still do it like this way. There's no wrong way to do this. You can always do old school rev up. That's fine. Like I said, this is your dance, but you can do it like this. Right? Now, if you look at that move, it looks a little familiar. Maybe it's something that we did earlier. That forward, center, back. Right? So it's just a foundation move. We're going to revisit that one. Other rev up I'm going to show you is, I guess it's kind of like a new school rev up. And there's always variations. That's why I always highly encourage my students to do your research. You take everything I say with a grain of salt because I'm your teacher, but I still want you to have a mind of your own and research. How the rev looks like this. Right? Another one is just a little variation of that same one. It's like a slide back. My brother Shane T is the one that actually put me up on that. I saw Swiss do it, but then I saw Shane do it in person. It really opened a lot for me. What else? Yeah, alright, so going back to our old school rub up. If you break that move down, this one, right? So you notice there's a lot of jumping because it is light feet. So most of these moves are done on the balls of the feet. Not all of them, just most of them. But the objective, of course, being light on your feet. So if there's any of my b-boys watching, this move I'm pretty sure looks very similar to y'all because, we've done this. This is, in my opinion, this is where some of the light feet dancers got it from watching b-boys back in the day. But now to actually ask them how to do the move, they just watch. But that's how it goes. So first thing we're gonna do. Starting off. Yeah. All right. So how I started off with my old school rev up was with a hop step, and I'm hopping up on my left leg just to get that one planted in front before I plant my right leg. So almost like trying to hop over something, but with the emphasis on the left leg being in the air. Yeah. So it will go 1, 2, 3. Do that again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? 1, 2, 3. Do this again. 1, 2, 3. So now, how I watched a lot of their older videos, and when they were doing their rev ups in the front, some people were swinging them, swinging that foot to meet almost like it's coming around, right? So 1, 2, 3, if you want.
I know you're gonna dig this. Come off the barrio, 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 come off the barrio.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Notice how I hop on the foot. 1, 2, 3. I'm already right. I'll show you what it looks like from this way. See me hopping up on this foot? Back, 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 back. Hey. Alright, so that is the rev up going in the front. Now, going in back, it's a lot simpler than you think. It's just basically stepping back, but just as you have that good swing and energy in the front, you gotta have that same energy in the back, right? So you're going. Break that down. Front, back. So you notice I do hop, step, step, hop, step, step. So my left leg, hopping back, step with the right leg, swing back with the left, right? That, not that. Back with the left leg, that. Jump back with the right, my bad. Left. So notice how I'm coming back, pushing back with the left, sliding with the left. Back, step, step. Da, da, da. Ooh, that's up. Remember, I'm sliding back, left leg. Oh, did we go over, did you put your rev up on the side? Rev up variation. Perfect. Ah. Da. Oh, my bad. Ah. Da. So slide back. Da. Step. Da. Step. Da. Step. Da. Step. this light feed tempo. I've been craving this. I haven't got my daily light feed in today, but we're gonna. Ooh. That kind of worked. So we're gonna do that old school rev up, vibing out. I'm telling you, that light beat get me. Alright, so I'm just gonna knock out a few. We gotta bring it together. I'm so sorry. We're gonna do that in these 5 minutes. We'll go over tone walk next week. I know we only got 5 minutes left. But so when we hop it and bring it to the front, my bad. So we hop with the left leg to go to the front. Dap, dap, dap. Hop back with the right. Step back with the left. Bop. Right? So bop. My bad. Step, step, step. Poke, poke, poke. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 in the front, 3 and 4 in the back. 1 and 2 in the front, 3 and 4 in the back. 2, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 2. Right? So just remember to take your time with this. I'm gonna rock it out again. Take your time. Most important, take your time and have fun. Have fun. Even if you're not doing it right now, just vibe out with me. Alright? All we're doing is these rev ups. That is your old school rev up. At least on one side. You know, next week we'll go on the other side and we'll go. I'll give you our tone box to go along with it, and maybe a few variations. But understanding what light feet is the next evolution. If you ask me, light feet is the next evolution of hip hop freestyle, of hip hop dance. All these hip hop dancers had enough time to get their foundation and to evolve and then along came Light Feet to put them right where they're supposed to be, so we could just drop these knowledge gems on y'all and the correlations and see where they're all coming from. Whew. Whew. Take a breather. Get your water. It's kombucha bottle, but there's water in here. Oh, that was good. Thanks for stick with me. It is 6:45. So, if there are any questions, comments, concerns about any of the lessons today that you learned today in the moves, or any questions about the culture, please feel free to type them in the comments. These videos are going to stay up so you can reference them and get back to us with whatever you need, because all in all, we're here for you. We're here for y'all to have fun. Still trying to catch my breath a little bit. Those rev-ups will take it out of you, you know? But it's so much fun to do, right? I know. Next week we're going to talk about a little bit of history in Light Feet and a little bit more of the correlations of how when breaking first started to when Light Feet started. You know, I actually might have Nav tune in on that one too, because that's going to be a dope conversation. With all that being said, thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. I can feel you from wherever you are. Thank you so much. If you haven't got outside today, just get a little bit of air, because it is going to be good for you. My name is Dantes Just Jones. You just call me Just. This has been the Motor City Street Dance Academy that is around here somewhere. Boom, is over here. Always stay active. Drink your water. Take some time to self-reflect and meditate. And just be well. All love, all light.
Akira.
He's got clout.
The title of these talks that I'm giving here is Mind Over Mind. And I'm going into all the various problems which have to do with the control of the mind. And so I might introduce what I'm going to say by saying it from different points of view. For example, if you're interested in communications, it will be the problem of feedback. Or if I may put it in theological terms, how does man follow the will of God if the will of man is perverse? The theologians say, you cannot do this without having divine grace, or the power to follow the will of God. How then do you get grace? Why is grace given to some and not to others? If I cannot follow the